Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another Star Status episode of the Chatterbox with King Jacob. And I am yours truly, King Jacob. So tonight on this terrific Tuesday, we have a special guest. We live from Illy Philly, and we're gonna be chopping it up. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and let the special guest introduce herself so you at home can get familiar with who she is.
Hello, everyone. Yes, this is Chef Tica, no other, hailing from my kingdom in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania right now. For those who know me, they know I've definitely relocated since then to Lexington, South Carolina. So I will be back. Okay, I'm not staying long. I just came to make sure my people were good, get the kids situated for the summer, but I'll be back to be there for you guys.
All right, all right. So, I see you have some your people tuning in. Jada, what's going on? Appreciate you chiming in and tapping in with
Hi,
us.
Jada.
Sure, for sure. So people want to know who is Chef Tica,
hmm
and so who is Chef Tica?
Chef Tika is I want to say and keep in mind a lot of things that I'm going to say to you throughout the evening is going to probably be a metaphor for food. So
Okay,
Chef Tika is that strong cup of coffee. Chef Tika is that comforting warm soup. Chef Tika is that clean palate when you need that strength. So Chef Tika is a layer of so many different things. I'm a warrior, I'm a protector, I'm a lover. I am every woman. As Whitney say, I'm every woman. I have no um ceiling. I just keep going up and keep elevating and keep trying to do things to make myself better than I was. So just competing against myself and continuing to do so every day in every way in every aspect of my life.
okay. Well, that sums it up, man. What a great summary, so people can understand who you are. And so, let's also talk about how and when did this journey start with you becoming who you are today.
Okay, so when you say how, the how comes from the family. I was born and raised in a really big family. My mother was a no nonsense mom who, by any means, uh, things had to get done. And so when things had to get done, such as light bills, holidays, anything that came up, my mother was the type that just jump in the kitchen sometimes, sell dinners, sell platters, have card games, ran a speakeasy. She did a lot of things to keep our family afloat growing up in North Philadelphia. So, with that being said, it started off with her children helping her in the kitchen. I am the youngest of four. So I was always, I guess you would say, the prep. It always started with me, the cleaning of the chicken and making sure peeling greens off stems and cleaning chitlins, whatever it was, and whatever it took, whatever was on my mother's menu, it started with me, and then it went on and on and on as my siblings, in role of my siblings, so we can all participate and do something, whether if we were collecting the money or delivering, but it actually started as a very young child. I want to say around the age of 5. And from that point, it always stayed, it was always instilled in me. If something goes wrong, if you're in need of anything, utilize your talent. So that was my strong beginning, my humble beginnings, I want to say, which groomed me into doing other things throughout my life, but always led me back to my favorite passion, which was culinary and catering.
Okay. So now these next two questions I'm about to ask you, and this coming straight from the church. And so we're gonna look a little deeper into what we call the cooking orchestra. So
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to explain, and I'm glad your family's watching because this is this is definitely gonna be a question that that take you back to when you had that humming in the kitchen,
Hmm.
and that patting on the countertop. So in the arena of cooking,
Hmm.
how is there uh, spiritual growth and emotional growth inside the cooking when you prepare the food? Like, I used to hear my granny say, "Be like, Granny, why this food tastes so good? My God." She was like, "Baby, that's that love and that's that spiritual seasoning on top." And so,
I
if
agree.
you can kind of break that down for folks who don't really know
Who don't
what
know
that
why it's
means.
such a in the food.
Yeah, right,
Well, you've tasted my food. Fortunately, you have been at several events that I've catered, and I love that you were always so honest about your opinions because I offer that honesty. But
right.
if you really want to know what gets me to a point that I really want to put my all and my name into something or on something, is definitely I want to say being able to I'm trying to find the right words to use, not just catering, but also creating something that will help strengthen, to help build. So we all heard the term soul food. So no matter which person, which nationality of food that I'm cooking, it's going to be from the soul. It's going to be good to feed your soul. It's going to be good to build your soul. I like to use a lot of fresh ingredients, things that combine well, things that sit well, things that you digest well. So that way, when it comes to being able to eat things that I prepare, I'm looking at the whole body, the mind, and the spirit. So that way, I'm getting to
Mm,
soothe and feed each portion of your whole being. And that's actually me pouring my soul back into it. So I season with my heart, with my soul, with my love. And that's what it is. That's how I set that foundation for each and
mm.
every catering job or meal plan or anything else that I do. That's how I set that bar. What would I like? How would I like to be treated? Speaking with my customers, getting consultations, and also providing them with what they actually want. But that's definitely important.
It is, and I see your niece just tapped in, Asia. And, you know, so that's what's up.
Hi,
That's what's up.
Asia. Yes,
That's what's up.
yes, those are my nieces, my beautiful twin nieces over here in Philadelphia. Um, it's funny that she jumped on and that you mentioned her at this time because I was going to take a small time out of our excerpt today once we finish getting to know me to just explain that I've come from a family of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And that particular niece has her own business with her sister, and they're 10 years old.
Well, I mean, with the expertise of their parents, and if they would want to ever come onto the podcast and just really get their business out there and get some exposure, I love to have
Absolutely. I think we should. I'm thinking a family affair edition where all the family members are with each other. Um, Talking about their business and capitalizing off of that and being able to seeing how we can all help each other within our circle but also branch out within our village or outside our village to also help others, which is one of my names that I have, which is Chef Motivator, because I believe in motivating people, not only
them.
feeding you but motivating you to do something more. And that was my name given to me within my sisterhood once I crossed over 2 years ago, almost three in October.
Okay, okay, okay. And congratulations on that. So I'm gonna say this while your family is tuned in. I will say that some people prepare food, but some people spiritually prepare food.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually, had a chance to really sit down and actually taste your food and just I was like, wow. And actually I can tell you this. When I brought the plate back home, my mother was like, "Oh my, this is wonderful." And so you know kind of when an older person who's been cooking since they're 7 or 8, and they've been cooking for their kids for a long, long time, and when they come
Right. For
a food,
generations.
yeah,
that's
that's a whole different ball game. And so I
that's
see,
a an abundance of compliments just from that one compliment. When someone older who has that experience and that love and who has been creating that for their family for such a long time, I've heard it with older people that have been the cooks in the family, the chefs in the family, the matriarchs in the family, say some great things, and that speaks volume to my heart, and that only makes me want to do better each time around.
okay, so I've been instructed, and I've been instructed to say, ask her about her pasta shrimp salad. Okay, so those are instructions in the comment section, and so with that being said, I really have to really how my mind is set up is that means that it's phenomenal. If in the comment section they talking about ask her about her shrimp pasta salad, so let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Okay. I might have to go a little old school, real quick, because it was all a dream. And
Right,
I'm gonna leave
right,
it right
right,
there. I
right.
actually woke up in the middle of the night with this recipe on my mind. I knew what I had in the refrigerator. I had shrimp. I had pasta. I had all these different components, and I'm like, what should I make? But I want to make something different. I want pasta salad, but I want to make something different. So I did create one of my signature dishes, which is also one of my popular dishes, called the shrimp Caesar pasta salad. I make it in a few different variations depending on your tasting because a lot of people do not like shrimp. So I can do anything from smoked turkey to pulled chicken, but it is a pasta salad. And it is such a rich, good salad, but it's a clean salad. So it's not too heavy. I had people say to me, I don't even eat pasta salad. I don't even like pasta salad. But my brother Twine years ago gave me the crown of being the best pasta. I mean, I'm sorry, not pasta, potato salad maker in the family. So I kind of ran with that as well because potato salad is a major situation in a family. At a cookout. So it's major when you can bring that salad and nobody and everybody go, which one Tika made? Which one Tika? Okay, I'll go with that one. So I knew I had that gift there, but a lot of my recipes do come to me in dreams. It's just
Mm.
a matter of me waking up and
So
executing it.
so you telling me that this bless that God blessed you with, this is a prophecy to feed people spiritually,
Absolutely.
but through the love of ingredients in the food that you serve. Okay, then I can understand. And so Jada says, if we are doing requests out of love, I would love the honey lemon glazed salmon over jasmine rice with asparagus. So let's talk about it.
Jada, I'm gonna need you to mute her, please, because she's gonna have a lot of requests before this is over. I love you, Jada, my dearest baby girl. Um, but she's gonna want some of everything, and she's gonna pull out recipes that you guys may have not even seen, and put some things out there and go, "Mom, tell them about yada 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 yada." But Jada is my 22-year-old, and she's a banker. Now, however, she rocks with me in the kitchen. All of my children rock with me in the kitchen. Let's get back to the question at hand. Yes, I have been in the crafty mode of air frying. I'm loving it. I was a little skeptical about frying in air. It just didn't mesh well with me. But we've been trying a lot of different recipes in the air fryer. So she is talking about something that we came up with very recently. A lot of my sauces are signature sauces such as Tata lemon sauce, Tata spicy seafood sauce, Tata everything, the Tata remoulade sauce. So there's always going to be something Tata in front of my signature sauces. And with that grilled salmon, of course, we have the seasoned jasmine rice, possibly some stir fried mixed vegetables or asparagus, whatever it is. Jenny, you can go ahead and place your order and send it to my inbox, but we do make it with a really tangy but also subtle lemon sauce, and you can even have it in a vinaigrette base or a creamy base, depending on your
Mhm.
palate. So I think that with that being said, we need to set up a meal date so that way we can have a before and after or throughout course of how we're creating some of these meals. And by the end of this cast, maybe we'll have a couple votes on what we'll make, put it out there to the audience so they can tune in for the cooking class and get their own ingredients and work with me.
Okay, okay. So I mean, I'm just it's popping out to me while you're talking. So and
Mhm.
I know we got Illy Philly and Columbia in the house. So I think this could happen both places. I think you know Chef Tica's executive entree and elegant wine tasting, just an event where it's light jazz, some down home blues, no 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 strong alcohol, nothing but just straight wine. And I think that I think really this day, I think that a lot of people really want that classy night out.
Absolutely.
And us guys like the
The
wow
wow
out.
factor. I'm
Yeah, the wow.
So,
Like,
I meet guys who don't like wow factors. They just a lot laid back and don't like too much. And then I have the guys that, of course, that depending on where. And I always say it's not where you from, it's where you at. So I can't say it's a Philly thing, it's a Jersey thing, it's a New York thing, it's a South Carolina thing. It's an individual thing, and
mhm,
that's why I like to make myself adaptable and adjustable for any of my audiences, any of my clientele, because it's important for me to be able to adhere to your concerns and to your questions and to your palate needs and understand that your grandparents may be having some ailments that we need to be careful not to have too spicy or too salty. So I think that's just me all the way around the board. You're gonna get what you see. I am
right,
going to
right,
be
right.
very transparent when it comes to a lot of different things that we do. I like to spend money. I like to make money, but my main thing is respect my money, and I definitely
Hmm.
respect yours because it's hard out here. I won't go into the rest of the song, but it's a little hard out here from for some of us. So, you see, I slid
You
that in
know
there.
what? You know what? Hey, but listen though, I tell my bros all the time. I say, man, I ain't saying that you got to do it every weekend, but I will say this right here. When it's an elegant, meal, and you got the hors d'oeuvres, you got the entree, you got the dessert, and you got several different wines, and that's easily a $50-$60 plate, and and then you got a live band setting that maybe they might be doing Motown covers, they might be doing Babyface covers, they might be doing Betty Wright covers, they or they might, or when you go to Philly, you might really bring back that sound of Philly type covers. You know what I mean? You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And so I think that to think outside the box and surprise him or her as something elegant like that, yeah, it's something that we don't see enough of, and that's why I mentioned that.
Well, to piggyback off of what you're saying, and let me just make a really, I guess, brief correction on that. I worked with a young lady who does wine, and
Okay,
she and I collaborate a lot on a different on so many different platforms. She's a very beautiful young lady. Shout out to Latasha Reeves.
right,
If she's watching, she is you know Latasha. She is definitely one of the pillars of her community. Very great person, spiritually beautiful and just beautifully made. So
right,
with that being said, she and I have collaborated on these type of things such as the wine and the wine tasting with with me being able to create dishes that would assist with the palette of the tasting and things like that. So that was important. And we also have wine and dine packages where we do have strong songstress on staff. We do have musicians on staff. We do have it where we're creating a signature experience, not just someone who can make a really good meal, sit it out in front of you and become professional. I'm a caterer by nature. I've been catering
Hmm.
since I was a child. I catered because this is what I was told that this is the proper way to do. When you have an uncle or auntie coming through the house or come to the door, you go to the door, you greet them, you take their hat, you take their coat. Today, these children know nothing about greeting family members at the door. I'm not going to say all children, but there is a lot. I try to push that with my children and instill that in them, and let them know, hey, you got to get yourself out there. You have to be respectable. That's why I love Chick-fil-A. It might be the most priciest fast food place on earth, but everybody's smiling. So I like to
Right.
keep that thought process up when servicing my clientele, making sure that they know that this is specifically for you, not for
Well,
them, not for them, it's for you.
well, T, the reason why I said what I said, because only a person of your stature and your prestige could um, help the men understand that that debonair look is required to taste your food. You know what I mean? And so, that kind of brings them out of their shell and brings her out her shell, where everybody gotta get suited and booted. She gotta go get her face beat. He gotta go put on his Georgia or Money's or his Stacey Adams and get suited and booted. And
Right.
it might be the first time that we ever see him in some cufflinks. You know what I mean?
True.
And 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 so, I think it's definitely an experience that you can give people. So that's why I said what I said. You know what I mean?
And for me, it's all about the experience. It's how I made you feel at the end of the day. It's how it's what makes you want to be a returning client. What makes you want to
Hmm.
mention my
Hmm.
name to someone else
Right,
and utilize your word of mouth. Because
right, right,
I'm a firm believer, as we all know, tomorrow isn't promised. So I want to utilize my time to do everything that I can to let God use me for my craft. I've done
right,
everything from do pro bono work that people didn't even realize because I just wanted to make sure these events went off without a hitch. And no one had to know it was just a business between myself and whomever I was servicing, because it's not always about the financing for me. It's also the fulfillment that I feel. I also had get fulfilled when I'm cooking or when I'm catering or when I'm chopping and when I'm slicing and I'm in a different zone. I'm not the same person. I'm not I'm not Tika, I'm not mommy, I'm not little sister, I'm not, my brother calls me Chunky. I'm not chunky. I'm not any of these people. I am chef and I'm in chef mode. My tunnel vision is on exactly what you ordered. I keep things such as my planner up with the full list of everything that you asked for and with the company that, because I zoom in, I lock in, and I have this photographic memory where I'm going, okay, this is what we're doing. Jerk chicken is next. Jerk chicken is also going to include some onions, some peppers, some gravy, some this, some that. Then we're going to make a batch not so spicy. So I'm like it's like a fine tuned machine. I just keep going, and everything has to be in line, every gear, and
right,
that's how I
right.
perfect every time. I tend to maybe stay up overnight or maybe 2 or 3 days just to get larger jobs done, but I want to make sure I see it through every step of the way.
And so we're gonna cover next. We're gonna cover how you um cook for different type of people from different walks of life, like Caribbean, like Spanish, like Southern, maybe even Vietnamese, or like you do so much from different walks of life. And so what intrigued you to be this multicultural celebrity chef?
Growing up in a multicultural area, like I
Hmm.
said, such as Philadelphia, New Jersey and New York, there's nowhere that we can go that we can't get some type of different food. There's soul food at one corner, there's Hispanic food at another corner, couple more doors down, there's a Lebanese restaurant. And not being afraid to taste those things, walk in those doors, put yourself out there. My first apartment was at 47th in Baltimore in Philadelphia. And I remember it was a very diverse area, anywhere from Asian to African to uh, Caucasian. There were so many different people, but there were so many different restaurants because a lot of people migrated through New York and filtered through New Jersey and filtered through Philadelphia. So we were afforded to be able to have all these different types of food and be accustomed to it. And with
Right.
Philadelphia being one of the biggest towns, anywhere from traditional, like our Philadelphia cheesesteaks, which we're notoriously known for, but also having different types of food and having those different cultures around us. Now, and I'm thinking about it tomorrow, I might be having Spanish food. I've had Caribbean food since I've been here. I've had seafood, all different kind of things. I'm actually going to be throwing a little shindig, and I'm going to be making my famous shrimp Caesar pasta salad so everybody get to see what others are talking about when I'm not home. And I want to bring that here so that way, if I have a family member who picks up on that recipe, then we're going to carry that on and keep
Mhm.
filtering that, share that. I'm huge on
Right.
mentorship. I'm huge on mentorship. Teach your children, teach your niece, teach your nephew, teach your cousins, teach your family.
Mhm. Right.
Mentorship
Right.
is important.
Right. And so I had the experience. I lived in the DMV for 12 years, and I also lived in the DC, in the excuse me, the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area for about 6 years. So I had the experience because growing up in the South, it's not multicultural. So when I
Mhm.
migrated north, I had the experience, Vietnamese, Caribbean, Spanish, Haitian, Ethiopian food, all type of different, foods. And so then it's pretty dope that you cook so many different ways. And I think that that's what's missing in a lot of areas in the South. And I think I'm so glad that you're in the area and you can really open up people's eyes on you know how their taste buds can expand. Because I don't think nobody should have a boring food life.
Just
I,
one sided
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
just
no,
be
no, no, man. Like I'm the type of person I like to try different stuff, and I tell people, man, if you have any like Italian friends and they'll look at you crazy when you tell them that, yeah, they'll be like, you Italian, you be like, well, I eat spaghetti and lasagna. They'll be like, what? That's it? Because
right.
it's
It's so many other things, manicotti, cannolis, all different types of
right,
pastas,
right,
different dishes. Like it's phenomenal. Like I do this bruschetta with or without shrimp, and it's so good. Like then you got me thinking about all the different things that I do venture in. Just started venturing into Chinese. Posted garlic and ginger shrimp fried rice.
mm,
And I just do it because, like I said, it comes to me. Sometimes I'm up thinking, oh, I have a heavy shrimp left, and let me take it back a little bit. It also started from the fact that my mother worked with whatever we had.
hmm
She opened the refrigerator if it was a half a can of this, or if it was a plate of this or a plate of that. She some way somehow made these ingredients work. So we had to think outside the box. There was no box to go into. We just had to get what we had to get, utilize it, and make it good. That was important.
right,
Making it good. It wasn't always pretty, but she made it really good. And she put us first a lot of times to make sure we ate. And half the things that she put together was all called goulash. It was just a bunch of stuff mixed together, but we ate it, and it was always so good. So I learned how to make do out of what we had. Especially being a young mother, if I hadn't always had the means to get, oh, things to complete a meal. Well, what can I do to still make this meal good without having to spend the money? And then
right,
that's when you start digging deeper into yourself, and then that's when you start thinking outside the box. especially like I said, if there's no box to look into to get anything out of. So
Right, right. And so it's a special. It takes a special type of person to understand that this ingredients go with that ingredient, this ingredient, like you don't want it too bland, you don't want it too
clash.
spicy, you
Hmm.
don't use some people just want their food mild. But when you study different cultures and you meet people from different walks of life, you want to be able to prepare something because like I told you, you are a celebrity chef. So I I see you and your skills and on a global mindset. And so, and that's why when I spoke to you earlier, I said you definitely need marketing, branding, and publicity. And
Absolutely.
I
And
definitely
I'm
said,
taking in all the advice. I appreciate it all because sometimes I get so in tune and wrapped up into so many other things that I do. Like it's been very busy with prom, graduation, family, my brother's wedding, things like that. It's so many different things that's going on. Sometimes I forget to just jump in and tap in and say, hey, clients, family, friends, relatives, people who are looking for chef, people who are looking to see what's being created. I'm still here. And that's something I'm working on every day to be able to still tap into my clientele and to my family, to my friends, to my village and my support system. Another thing that I was going to say is to kind of go back on your last question, traveling helps. I'm notoriously known for traveling. I'm a traveling chef as well. I love to go on different retreats and see how the different cultures get together, and maybe it's just for herbalization, whether it's for women's empowerment or uh, hot girl summer, whatever it is, it's going to be
yes,
I'm going to adjust myself and adapt myself to be in that position to accommodate. So, but traveling definitely helped. Tasting the actual authenticity. Uh, from each culture. Being in Jamaica and say, I want some true Jamaican food. I want some true Mexican food. Being in Cabo, I want some true. I went to Paris for my 40th birthday. I want some true Parisian food. A lot different than what we're used to. But the fact is, I got a chance to taste, to ask questions, to speak with chefs, to get advice, and not to be afraid to ask a question or to raise your hand and say, what was that in there? Or
mm,
just speak up. And I
right,
really like this. I think I'm going to try this on my own, but create something a little bit different with a twist.
right, right. So, okay, I had the chance of spending some time in Illy, Philly, and
Okay.
we're gonna since you're from Philly, I need you to explain people who haven't experienced Philly or who
Mhm.
think they experienced Philly, but they haven't really been to the city. Let's talk about the taste of Philly. What
Mm.
could you tell us about the taste of Philly?
Oh, so the taste of Philly can it's different ranges. Again, Philly for me is in a box because Philadelphia is made up of so many different cultures. You
Hmm.
have Chinese stores on almost every corner. One's better than the other. There's always going to be one better than the other. But you're also going to have some of the historical restaurants that are here. Adelphia's, that's also in New Jersey,
Hmm.
because it's so well close and connected. It's just not just Philly. You have soul food restaurants who's been here for many years. I remember Warm Daddies and place like that. Played live jazz. Philadelphia was known as a very, or is still notoriously known for a well-to-do musical town.
Right.
So you have so many different night spots and clubs and bars and holes in the walls and dives, places where, even as famous as Max's cheesesteak, where I just walked by the other day and the line was still down the street with Kevin Hart's picture sitting right on top of it. I'm like, why my picture not out here? I've been coming here way before then. So
Hmm. Hmm.
you're gonna get so many different variations. There is no this is what Philly is known for. No, we're so much bigger than cheesesteaks. Just like New York is so much bigger than pizza. New
Right.
Jersey is much bigger than subs. It's so many different avenues to travel with taste buds, with what you like, with what you know what you don't, or what you would like to try. Ethiopian restaurants. There's a community of
Hmm.
them. it's so many places to go. It depends on what you're open to being exposed to, which are what exactly would do it for you to make you excited. So you know what, I think I'm going to try that today. I want to try something new. I want to try vegan food today. I may not be a vegan, but I may try vegan food today. So with so many different things that you can actually do here in Philadelphia, I will never box Philadelphia in. We have
Right.
we're notoriously known for a lot of things, but boxing with food is not one of them. We
Right.
eat everything.
Right. And the reason I want to talk about the taste of Philly, I had the pleasure some years ago going to, the taste of Cleveland, the taste of Chicago, and Philly is known for a lot of great food, a lot of great culture, and so I would like to see, a whole festival, the taste of Philly, all the best food, the live bands, the artists, the live canvas painting, I think that would be good for the city. And so, and I know how my my uncles and my dad spoke of it, how it was back in the day when people from the South always used to come to Philly for a weekend. It was a time of their
Right.
life. People from Philly came to the South, and it was like, I think we need to get back to their roots, because back in the day, everybody knew who their family was. So,
Right.
whether you was up north, whether you was down south, they was all connected. And now these kids don't know. They don't really know a lot of their family members, because
I see a lot of that, and I always try to keep my family connected with my children and vice versa. Spending summers is always the best thing with cousins and connecting
right,
with cousins and families. Also, unfortunately, COVID pulled a lot of family back from each other, but it also brought a lot of families together. So,
it did.
which is awesome, because I remember at one point in time, my family and I was shooting movie. Oh my, this movie came out. This movie came out, and I'm like, nobody told me about Meet the Blacks too, or The Godfather of Harlem. Like
Right.
we really connected, and it brought us closer. And to say,
Hmm.
you know what, this is uncertain for us, but let's make whatever's going on beneficial for us to step up our communication, because we are not so busy that we can't tap in. So that's something that I'm big on family. I'm major on that. When it makes me smile internally and extra, like I bubble when I'm around family, and and they motivate me. They push me. They give me their opinions. They're like, nah, that's not it. Like they know,
Right. 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 Right.
that's what they know. And I love that. I love that about just family in general, whether if they're biological or family that you inherit.
Right. And so, with that being said, I know you told me that you love music. You are a music connoisseur. You're a music crooner, and so
Yeah.
while you're chefing and you have those blessed hands, those hands of warmth, comfort, and those hands of love, that you put all in your ingredients, all in your food, and you sprinkle some of that spiritual on top. What music suits you? Like, what's your different moods and that you have when you're preparing food, and what music do you listen to, or does it depend on the time of the day?
It really doesn't depend on the time of the day. Let's just say first and foremost, Alexa is my best friend. She goes with me everywhere. She understands me. We have conversations. Alexa knows uh play cooking mode music. And that's because I already started a playlist. And they can go anywhere from Tina Marie to
Hmm.
Patty to Fabio. Like I am not out. I'm everywhere with it. As long as it keeps me moving, it keeps me whipping. The Migos whipping in the kitchen like stuff. As long as it keeps me going and keep me on my feet. Like I can't listen to down. I do listen to gospel from time to time, but I definitely like upbeat and
Okay.
music that motivates. Music that makes me laugh, music that I can understand and don't have to bust it open to. That's important. Not to bust it open while catering.
Right. Okay. I can dig it. Cause that music is very essential when you're doing anything, and
Mhm.
it
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 sets
just
the
it,
mood
it,
and the tone.
yeah, that vibe. So and the vibe just gets you in that groove where it's like I'm so unstoppable. You know what I mean? So I can dig it. So let's tap into you as a mortgage specialist and
Oh,
how
mortgage specialist.
yeah and how
Um,
did you get there?
well, I'm gonna wrap up my music portion real quick because I was a writer. I
Okay.
also wrote books. I've also did a lot of intros, a lot of different things with a lot of artists here locally in Philadelphia. So I don't make that my pedestal. I don't always put that at the forefront, but that is definitely a passion of mine. Spent many times with my brother in the studio growing up. Things
Oh,
altered.
back up. So you say you spent time with your brother in the studio,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wrote a
And
lot of
so
songs. My daughter
is
actually
your
filmed a couple of them.
is your brother a singer, rapper, or what's good?
No, he wanted to sing at some point. He wrote a lot of songs with me. He always heard my songs. We're talking about way back since third grade when I was just writing poems and songs as a project for school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember writing a no smoking commercial song, and he was right there with the beat going. He always had something to bring to it, like, no, you should do it like this. But so growing up and writing more and more and being a part of the musical community, coming from a school with a lot of musical talent, that it kind of fueled that fire. But then
Mm-hmm.
let's if we're going to flip forward to that last question, mortgaging and banking specialist was a part of me, had just wanting to create that balance and wanting to create that stability because I was, a young mother, wanted to make sure we had medical, dental, things like that. Getting tired of what was just given to me and went to just go get what I wanted myself. So
Okay.
mortgage specialist came into to that, me starting off with customer service. I'm dealing with high conflict and high profile clientele, people who don't even talk to you because they're too rich. They just need to buy a house and they're not even present through the process. So I've dealt with trust fund babies. I've done a lot, but the key to my success within mortgaging and being a banking specialist was being a listener, but also being able to, like I said, multitask, deal with conflict resolutions, being an analytical thinker. Those things have been key in my success, which led me into my opportunity in moving into South Carolina, being able to open up the mortgage operations department with one of America's largest banks in the South was a great acclimate for me, but it wasn't where I ended. And I learned that my story and my chapters were changing. And I'm glad that they did because they changed for the best. It actually pushed me in a whole different direction of going full time with my business. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and just, but that's a huge part of me. I actually am one of few people that care about people's financial health and financial well-being. It's important to me that you grow financially and be able to afford what you want off that lot, what you want when you see that house, what you want when you go to that store. It's important to me to make sure you have the tools that you need in order to be successful, to have a better life, a better quality of life. And those things start, unfortunately, with material, but it also starts with healthy credit, a healthy spending habit. I don't always create healthy spending habits, I'm not gonna lie, but I've learned the hard way and I had to kind of check myself and return things many times. But being a mortgage specialist and also underwriting was something that that pushed me to want to always continue to stay within that realm. Like I said, it started off with stability, but it also became a part of who I am to just naturally care.
So, Chef T, you super beast mode, right? Like, we gonna just keep it all the way funky, as 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 the uh as the older people say. Let me tell you something, young blood. Uh,
Sound like
you
my
know what I
brother
mean.
now.
So, you know what I'm saying. So, you know what I mean. So, from a mm, celebrity chef, you find that you you practice and can teach good financial literacy. And so it's like you are a walking Fortune 500 company.
Oh, that's dope. Maybe I'll
You know
get
what I
that put
mean?
on. Maybe I'll get that on my next tattoo.
Yeah, yeah, man, yeah, for sure. So, and I think that especially with the financial part, it's so needed. And I just want to ask you, with you being from Philly, but your kids going to school in the South, what kind of programs do you think they need to have in the high schools when it comes to financial literacy, when it comes to you know teaching our kids about finances before they walk out into society? Like, what are some programs that you would like to see?
I've actually already seen a lot of things starting to become implemented, such as number one, learning more than one language is now mandatory. It's important for our children to grow and learn how to travel and to also be able to be diverse and multicultural, because that's going to help them learn how to come out of their shell, how to be able to communicate with people in different walks of life. So that's number one. And that's already been implemented in the school system that my kids are currently in. Number two, credit courses have already been implemented. When my daughter was in 10th grade, moving on to 11th, when we were picking out her classes, credit courses were one of them. Because I tell all my children, at the moment you turn 18, you're going to get your pre-approved, you're going to get all these things in the mail. And you're going to think that you have your whole, oh my God, I got approved for $500. Oh my God, no, $1,000. Be very careful on who you share your information with. Um, so I really do think with the technology and the advancement of how everything is going, especially since the pandemic and us having to rely on technology even more, a lot of those things are already what I would like to see have already been initiated. I just wanted to continue to grow and to tweak and to also be able to be customized, because every child isn't going to ingest everything the same. That's just like every adult. Being able to set levels for different courses. That would be such
Mhm.
opposed to just throwing a child or some children in one room teaching them about what FICO means. We need to also teach other children who are not quite there, wondering about FICO. They just want to know, why is this cable bill in my name and they're only 11 years old? So there's a lot of different things that we as parents also have to be responsible for as well with our children's financial future and their health.
Right. So, I think that's very important, and I think that knowing the difference between 401k and IRAs is very important when it comes to the workforce, when it comes to our kids getting into the workforce, and so and how much they tax you in the 401k plans, is ridiculous. So if you invest your money into that IRA, you can save a lot more money, and plus you can also have different investments within the IRA. Because I was talking to a fella, and I said, man, I said, Mr. J, why you so rich? He's like, what you mean? I said, man, ever since I was 20 years old, man, or 19 years old, I seen you buy a new car every year.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, I didn't actually buy them. I actually leased them. And he said, I what I can tell you is there are some money making secrets out there that white people have been sharing with each other for years.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I don't care if you don't do nothing but wash cars. Just get you a little LLC, keep the
Mm-hmm.
credit good, man. And he said, upon you having it for maybe a year and a half, and you keeping your books straight, you know what I mean? And you keeping your books, your accounts receivable, your account payable, your petty cash, miscellaneous cash, all that. You keeping that straight, you keeping you a book together. He said, you go and go to your banker and tell them that you want to apply for business credit. And he said, so let me give you the breakdown. He said, a white guy, you might see him look like a bum. A t-shirt, a
Mhm.
trucker's hat on. Um, he have holes in his jeans and the knees, and he got on some work boots. But he said, I thought that too until one of my friends said, I wanna show you something. So they gave his friend a line of credit for about 30K. So
Mhm.
he said, so this is how it works. He was like, he invested 8 grand back into the trade lines. In another 120 days, he was able to get 70K. And then upon that, he was able to get 280K. So
Mhm.
it's that business credit and them trade lines is what they have been using for years to get
Mhm.
ahead. And so I
People don't
think,
realize how much money other people use or other people's money, I should say. They use other people's money to
right,
get to that point. So
uh-huh,
I follow exactly what you're talking about, and I was actually taught by um Caucasian people throughout my career on different things, such as even the smallest things is putting your children on your on a credit card. So on your credit card, you have your 10-year-old on there. They're not using it, but they're authorized user, but you're paying the bill. You're making sure there's timely payments. By the time your child turns 17, 18 years old, they have a credit score of 7 plus, maybe
mm-hmm,
8, and they're ready to already buy a house because they secured a job for a few years. That's all they needed. So the
right,
little things, the little and being able to make sure you utilize your free credit reports every year. You want to make sure you utilize that. Make sure your stuff is your stuff. And what's not yours, get it off of it. It's ways to do that.
right.
Well, I know that we are coming to a close very soon. And I also just wanted to mention my announcement is I am going to be doing a cooking class completely pro bono. There is no fee. I would like for you to come join me when I return home. We'll set a date so you can kind of get the actual full Chef Tica experience. You're there, you're in the kitchen, you're smelling when everything's being chopped, sauteed, dipped, whatever it is. I want you to have that full experience. I want to invite all our family and friends that joined us today. The date and time will be announced. All of my sisterhood ladies and queens that joined. They have actually taken classes with me before, and started changing some things about themselves, or some things on how they prepare certain meals. I should say not about themselves, but I would like to do that for you guys and just show you some different recipes that are
Mm-hmm.
coming up and some exciting things, and also just shouting out my family and them also helping me along the way with business decisions. First and foremost, I have my mother who has ran all types of businesses through our life, but she always maintained being a nurse. Her name is Roma McCain, aka Roma Huff, aka Hurricane Roma. And she is anytime the weather starts changing in South Carolina, you gonna look around, Chef's mom here. It snowed.
Right.
Chef, you seen snow? Chef's mom here. Okay, and that's with H&H Catering Services and Party Planning. And then I have my brother who has H&H Property Management, um, and that's my oldest brother, ran by my brother Antoine Huff. I also had the Foreign Connection Catering and Party Planning that's ran by my brother Roland and his fiance Lucretia. I have my nieces that I mentioned who have Anna and Asia's soaps and body care for children. I have my sister who has aromatherapy. If you need a great massage here in Philadelphia, she's the one. She has those hands. She has
Mm-hmm.
that neck to get in those creases and crevices. So shout out to aromatherapy ran by my sister Roma. I have a ton of family out here doing things really big. I have cousins in Atlanta. My cousin Tugi Geiger, who has Tasty Joins. If you know about the word join is a Philadelphia word.
Yeah, it most
So
definitely is.
them things are some Tasty Joins, but they in Atlanta now. They're not in Philly. Them Tasty Joins out in ATL. And
Okay.
hats off to all my many friends who are photographers, who are decorators. I am going to be starting a feature so everyone can be able to be featured on a weekly basis. Um, And I see another shout out from my brother, Bob. Big up Northside Bob. But yes, with the Foreign Connection, they make phenomenal food. And not only that, they create a phenomenal atmosphere. The decor is prestige and creme de la creme. Like I can't say any more about the things that have the growth that I've seen them grow through. And me
Mm.
being the youngest of my generation, each and every one of these people that I mentioned, and there's so much more. And please, if I didn't mention you, don't text me, girl, you didn't mention me. Just know that you're in my heart. I am shouting out the whole village, the whole
Mhm.
family.
Mhm.
Each and every one of them advised me in some way. Don't do this. Make sure you do that. Make sure even my daughter is her name is Tatiana. She's the bacon bully. Look her up. The bacon bully is doing big things. She was on
No,
Team Chop.
don't even worry about it. I'm gonna have her on here too. No, don't even worry about it.
Okay,
We gonna
okay.
do
And she'll love it. And she'll make something to make you want to go through the screen, Jacob. So I'm gonna just pre-warn you. Don't try to jump through this. This is not that movie with Medea and you just jump through the screen and you in there. I'm sorry, she does some phenomenal work.
this. Okay.
And that's nothing. I
And,
give birth to greatness.
right, right. And
Shout out to all my children.
I just want to give a huge shout out to your mom. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Salute to her. And I just want to give another shout out to your brother. You know, he just had a big day. You know,
Brothers. Okay, yes. I did have a brother that got married. Yes.
yeah, your brother just got married. I want to say salute to him. God bless that union. And you know, I hope you guys have a long life journey together and can inspire others to do the same. So, with that being said, I appreciate your family coming on and rocking with me, your friends and your sisters, and you know, just thank y'all for tuning in. And if there's
Absolutely.
anybody that rock with us tonight, that would definitely like some exposure to get the word out to get their message out about how passionate they are about their business. I'm open to do any type of interviews.
I am going to send you over to my friend as well. He has it's called SNL Disinfectant and Cleaning Business. He specializes in COVID cleaning. So amongst all of our businesses, this is something that we all need. He is a growing business. His prices are very reasonable. His name is Ted. So I'll definitely be sending you his information over to you and vice versa. He is the man when it comes to that. He's very serious about what we're out
Right,
here battling. And it's important to him to ensure that you have the proper cleaning
right.
environment for your family, your daycare, your businesses, your
Hmm.
car, et cetera, et cetera. So it's good to have team members like that. So shout out to Ted. And I just want to also thank him for being a good part of my support system as well and in the ventures that I do amongst my family as well.
All right, all right. You heard it first, man. The Chatterbox with King Jacob, yours truly, me and Chef T. You know, kicking it about her journey, about her passion, about her poetry, all the above. I want to thank her for tapping in with me and stay tuned, man. Like she is global. You would definitely see her in a city or
I
country near.
travel.
And so, I am King Jacob, and most of all, I want to say, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay encouraged, and please stay away from COVID. We out of here. Peace.